Well, what is up, Crazy X? You're gonna ask. Rocking my Area 51 t-shirt. Alright, welcome to Paranormal Tuesdays. And today I was bringing this part up here and I forgot. We're gonna go on a little time travel. We're gonna go back to July 6th through 10th, 2008. That is when I attended the International Got Ghost Conference. That's right. I become an international ghost hunter. We are off to bum 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 bum. No, not England. We're off to Canada. This is in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, and I am joined by one of my friends, Lee, and my cousin, Josh. So we pack our bags and we head up to Port Angeles, Washington, because we got to get on a ferry to head to, I believe it's actually Vancouver Island, but yeah, it's on an island up in Canada. So when we get up there, the boat's not there, because it's a ferry. Goes, takes people there to Victoria, brings people back, and repeat. So we pull in, we park our car in line, and then we just walk around, check out stuff. We grab some lunch, do a little sightseeing there in Port Angeles. Then we head to our car, and we pull into the car area, and we are off to Canada. It's kind of fun. I spent most of my time outside on the deck of the ship. They have like an indoor area you can go to too. But I'm like, how often am I on a big old boat sailing the, I don't think is it the sea? I don't know. But, big old boat crossing this ocean or peninsula or whatever it is. So I enjoyed the time outside. And I didn't really write this part down here, but it was funny too because like on the way back, we had some rough seas. It was like a storm. And I'm out there, and I guess I don't know. The ship captain sent my friends out to get me, but they're like, "Yeah, you need to get inside. You can't be out here on the deck of the ship during this." May have been like a crewman too, but yeah, it was kind of fun. But once you get there, I didn't really know where to go or anything like that, and I turned. I'm like, "Oh, there's our hotel." We were staying at the Empress Hotel, gorgeous hotel. We actually, even while doing the ghost hunt, we did a ghost walk. I think this was separate. I'm pretty sure this was separate. I don't think this is part of our group. But it was cool doing that too. It was funny. I had a couple weird things with the elevator. And then when we were going the ghost walk, they were talking about the history of the Empress Hotel and some issues, some like paranormal activity that involved the elevator. I'm like, oh, okay. Always kind of funny to have the issue, to have something kind of weird happen, and then you're told, because it's not psycho. I can't think of that term, but psychoanalysis. Like kind of like like whenever you go to WebMD. Holy cow! I've got that disease. I got that psychosomatic. That's the word. But it's because it's your mind now. Like, oh, it's almost like they have the placebo effect. They tell you it does something, and then you see the results. But when you actually have the result first, and then not knowing what you've had, somebody tells you the story. That's the cool stuff. When, oh, okay, that kind of now makes sense. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, it was the MV Coho ferry that we took across the raging sea with winds and waves 6 feet tall. Ere she blows, we set that sail and cross that rough river. We keep changing what it is. I don't even know what it is. I should probably look that up, what it was that we crossed. But yeah, fun trip, fun time out there. Once we got there, I'm gonna butcher this. We just had free time the first little bit. So we checked out Krazy Castle. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like more and more I see of these castles and stuff like that, I feel like they're more like mansions. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will live in one. I will if you're offering one. But it's like I don't know. I get this like medieval picture when I think of a castle. I think of like the little like how like that stone cut and everything like that. I mean, this is like a mansion. I mean, it's it didn't really look like what I stereotypically would think of a castle, a quote unquote castle. Uh, but yeah, we just went out sightseeing. We hit up like one of the malls. Uh, I know one of my buddies got upset because like they told him how they do the exchange, and it was a pretty bad exchange. And he thought it was just going to be the change that they would exchange, but it was actually the whole amount that they exchanged. So he got an expensive Subway sandwich. Let's just say that. Um, but of course, I mean, this is as I said, this was back in what 2008. I mean, a lot of things have changed, and I think actually at that point the Canadian dollar may have actually been greater than the U.S. dollar, or the U.S. dollar may have just took it back, becoming greater. But I mean, it was like a dollar for dollar um, exchange while we were there. I think so. Yeah, I mean, we hit up. I know we went to like a beach and stuff like that. It was just a fun time, just sightseeing, kind of a new area and everything. Um, we said, yeah, we already covered that part. It was funny too. Like one of the things that we did, and it's funny because like when you go there and you're so used to like, and it's the same. Like when you're used to your country, and things are different. And I don't know what it is. When America was formed, they're like, we're gonna do everything different. Like, because we have gallons in America. Everywhere else measures in liters. We do feet. They do kilometers. Um, we have miles per hour. They have kilometers per hour. I mean, it's just like every the measurement. A lot of that stuff is completely different. And I'm trying to think where I was going with that. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're not used to it, I mean, it's very different. And there's a point there I kind of lost that, and I apologize. Um, but yeah, it was funny. So also at this time, there wasn't like your phone could roam, and like we're coming out with data phones, so you had to turn your data rate off. If your phone's roaming, it's gonna get super expensive. Um, so we put our phones to like me and I believe I don't know, all of us were on T-Mobile. I know I was on T-Mobile. My buddy Lee was on T-Mobile. I can't remember my cousin what he had at the time, but we switched our phones to T-Mobile only because we're not gonna pay hundreds of dollars for data. And so we're in the cemetery now. This is like a 3 hour ferry ride. Um, so we're not near the United States at this point. Like we're 3 hour boat ride away from the United States. So we're in the cemetery investigating, and we start getting message alerts because our phones are picked up on T-Mobile. Like, okay, that was kind of funny. We're picking up United States reception when we're so far not in the United States. Uh, Man, I know we got a kick out of that. Also, too, with this at this event, it was a conference. They had speakers. We had Dave Schrader from Darkness Radio again, Patrick Burns, both guys super familiar with. I've done a few investigations and conferences with those guys. And then we had Mark and Debbie Constantina. Yeah. um, I mean, I still don't know. I know a little bit about what happened, but it was interesting. Uh, One thing that I did really take from them, and it's helped me out, was they talked about doing short EVPs, which would be like, like, just instead of doing an EVP of like 3 hours long, do like 5 minutes. And then while you're in that room, play it back. And I'll tell you, this had nothing to do with this conference, but it's by doing that. I took this to Viper Paranormal when I was working with them. And we did a resident. I mean, it's a business, but, it's residency. People could also rent upstairs. And we were upstairs doing an investigation. And I did one of those short-term EVPs. And I'm like, hi, my name's Jason. What's your name? Will you play that tape back? And all of a sudden you hear this, Kevin. And I mean, it's funny. Like, you can hear like the Vin. Like, it emphasized the Vin, but you can almost hear this so it sounded like it said Kevin. Really cool evidence. And then, of course, now we're back in that room again because we know there's something in that room. I mean, it was me and one other guy that were doing the EVP. I didn't say it, and he didn't say it. So we know that there is something going on in that room. Where normally you do like these longer 20-minute EVP sessions, and you don't play the tape back until like the next day or 2, 3 days later, maybe even a week later. So you could have had this entity that's just like, oh, yes, I need your help. If you can help me figure this out, like, I need justice, like the missing evidence that they need. Who knows what you have? You could have this guy who's having a full-on conversation with you, and you don't know about it because you didn't play that tape back. So, I mean, that was a huge win, I thought, and something I still do today. It's just those short burst EVP sessions. Another thing that kind of happened that was, for me, I like concrete evidence that I experience. Yeah, you had this experience. Good for you. I'm happy for you. But it didn't happen to me. I like my own, And I mean, there are people that, unfortunately, do lie. So it's like, I always like more firsthand evidence. And one of the places that we got to investigate was Heatley Castle. And I don't know how this happened. Me and Patrick Burns end up in one room, and like everybody else is in this other room. And so my cousin and Lee are in that other room with Debbie and Mark, and they're doing the EVPs. And we kept getting like a major spike on the K2 meter. And it seemed like it happened, like me and Patrick were talking about it, and we kind of realized that it seemed like it was happening like every minute or something like that. So we kind of started to just rule it out as not paranormal, because paranormal means above normal. If something happens every minute, well, then that becomes normal. I mean, we don't know what's causing that device to go off, but if it's going off consistently, like every minute on the minute, I'm sorry, that's not paranormal. It's normal now. So we rule it out. And at one point we're doing like the EVP session. We're like, is that you? Are you causing this? Because it's kind of before we realized what was going on. And then all of a sudden, all the people from the other room barged in. They're like, "You've got to listen to this." And they play this tape, and it's got this voice, and it says like, "They know it's me." I mean, everybody in that room assumed they're talking about me and Patrick. And I mean, we did ask, "Is that you causing this to go off?" And they got a response in the other room saying, "They know it's me." But like what we were getting was kind of consistent. Like it wasn't. So it's it's one of those things where it's like, And it's not. It didn't say Patrick and Jason next door, Kid Krazy. They know it's me. You know, it didn't say that. It didn't say the people in the next door. That super muscular hunk, Kid Krazy, knows it's me. I mean, it didn't say that. It just said they know it's me. Who's they? Is that large group that was in that other room? Are they? So I mean, it just kind of leaves you kind of scratching your head. Cool evidence, bro. um, but yeah, Heatley Castle. Just kind of looking over some of the stuff here too, real quick. Yeah, Heatley Castle. You probably know about it without even knowing about it. Keatley Castle. Heatley Castle was used in the television show Smallville as the Luthor mansion, Lex Luthor's mansion. It inspired the exterior for the Xavier School for the Gifted in X-Men, and also in Deadpool. I think it was Deadpool 2. Any Marvel thing where you have Xavier's school, that's Heatley Castle. Well, no, Heatley Castle's inspired, so like they kind of copied the design of Heatley Castle and made it. So yeah, Arrow, the television show Arrow, Oliver Queen's mansion is Heatley Castle. In the movie Descendants 1, 2, and 3, it is the Aradon Prep School. Hopefully I said that right. Yeah, cool place. And then we also, I was kind of walking around, kind of doing like the Wolverine, like I like the things or the metal claws coming to my hand. Of course, they didn't film Heatley Castle for X-Men. It was the inspiration. And then the internal shots were, of course, filmed on a soundstage. But no, I gotta be Wolverine. And then we also did an investigation at St. Anne's Academy. A really cool, awesome experience. Kind of cool going there with a couple of my friends. Another one of my friends, we wanted him to go. Situations prevented that, but yeah, a really cool trip. And I also got to visit the Royal BC Museum, which is neat. They had a lot of cool exhibits out there. Visited the Parliament, which this is the other thing that's kind of cool. My cousin Josh was talking about this. It was lit up. I mean, it was lit up like the 4th of July. I mean, it was amazing, jaw-dropping, just literally amazing. It was awesome. It was so brilliantly lit. And then Josh was talking about it, and he brings up a good point. He's like, back in America, they would say that was such a waste of electricity, which we do have a lot of people that feel this way. And then the response of one of the people there is like, "Oh no, that's solar power." And I mean, this is 2008. I mean, I don't even think solar power is really big. I mean, it's still not even that big. It's getting there in the United States, but just amazing that they have this brilliant display of lights, and it's free electricity. It's not even using any kind of like hydrogen power, electrical power. It was solar power, so that was really cool too. But an amazing trip. I'd love to get back out to Victoria. I mean, literally, I just got to drive up to Port Angeles and cross the raging seas with 6 feet gust of waves, and yeah, I would love to get back out there and kind of revisit some of those areas. I mean, Heatley Castle is available to go there. You have to pay an admission fee, but I mean, we had access because we were doing the paranormal investigation of areas that I don't think I'd be able to go, areas that would be roped off and stuff like that. But it was something kind of cool to go back out there and revisit it. Thank you everyone for checking out today's video of our International Ghost Conference event. I definitely look forward to getting back out there and investigating some more. Just got to do a pretty cool investigation. I've just got to get my lazy behind it together to finish editing that so we can get that out to you guys. But yeah, if you guys have questions, comments, leave those comments down below. We're trying to build this. We want this to be, you know, we want to build like a connection, you know, interact, you know. So do leave those comments. Like the video if you're not already. Subscribe, you know, gong that bell, as they say. You can email me if you wish, at RealKid, not at, no at in front. RealKidKrazy, crazy with a K, at gmail.com. That's where the at is. And then you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Those are at RealKidKrazy, crazy with a K. I have my email address down below. And this is something I'm trying to do full time. So, I mean, support does help a lot. I have set up a Patreon. If you do want to leave a tip, that would be greatly appreciative. But more importantly, I have a Mercari website where you can get all sorts of stuff. I've got tons of like collectibles. I just uploaded a bunch of autographs last night. We have the kid from Kindergarten Cop. Okay, now this is actually from Pet Cemetery. It's the same kid, but he was in Pet Cemetery, and there's a picture of him from Pet Cemetery. It's a print. He signed it, but he's the kid from Kindergarten Cop who said, you know, raised his hand, and Mr. Kimball calls on him, and he's like, boys have penises and girls have vaginas. It's that kid. So that's a really cool thing that's on there. I know I've got a signed Dundee from Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute from The Office. We've got Rob Snyder's autograph print on there. Or it's a picture from the Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo, signed by him. These are Beckett certified. So if you have a COA there. And I mean, anyone who did sports cards, we all know Beckett. So yeah, check that out. We've got that link down below. If you've not signed up for Mercari, if you never used them, there's a discount available for you, so check that out. But yeah, just thank you so much for checking out our videos. Thank you for your time. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you for Healthy Wednesday tomorrow.